Natalie Portman, a name that resonates with elegance, talent, and a kind of grace that very few in Hollywood can truly match. She has been the child star who grew into a global icon, the Oscar-winning actress who balanced art house cinema with blockbuster franchises, the activist who stood firm in her beliefs, and above all, a woman who has lived her life under the constant gaze of the public, and in 2025, her lifestyle is once again at the center of attention, with headlines about a new husband, her two beloved children, her luxury homes and cars, and of course, her staggering net worth. Natalie's story is as fascinating as ever, but behind all of that glamour and success lies the deeper tale of a woman who has always chosen her own path, no matter how difficult it might have been. When you think of Natalie Portman, the first image that comes to mind might be of her stunning performance in Black Swan, the role that won her the Academy Award for Best Actress. Or maybe you think of her as Queen Amidala from the Star Wars prequels, a role that made her an international star. But Natalie's story starts long before the red carpets, the flashing lights, and the golden statuettes. She was born in Jerusalem in 1981, to an Israeli father and an American mother. Her family moved to the United States when she was very young, and though she grew up in America, she always carried with her a unique mix of cultures, a dual identity that shaped the woman she became. From an early age, Natalie was different. She was intelligent, fiercely driven, and determined not to be just another Hollywood starlet. When she was just 12 years old, she landed her first major role in the film Leon, the Professional. At an age when most children were still figuring out who they wanted to be, Natalie was already playing complex, emotionally heavy roles that left audiences stunned. She wasn't just acting, she was living, breathing the part, proving that even as a child, she had the rare ability to captivate the world. As the years went on, Natalie grew up before the eyes of millions. Unlike many child stars who fell into the traps of fame scandals, addictions, breakdowns, Natalie took a very different path. She was always careful, always thoughtful about her choices. While filming Star Wars made her one of the most famous faces on the planet, she didn't let the fame consume her. Instead, she focused on her education, earning a degree in psychology from Harvard University, all while balancing a career that most actresses would envy. That combination, beauty, brains, and undeniable talent, made her one of Hollywood's most respected figures. By the time she starred in Black Swan in 2010, Natalie Portman had already proven herself. But that role changed everything. Her transformation into the fragile, obsessed ballerina Nina Sayers was so intense, so haunting, that it left audiences in shock. She lost weight, trained relentlessly, and completely immersed herself in the part. The performance won her not only an Oscar, but also cemented her place as one of the finest actresses of her generation. And during that whirlwind, she met ballet dancer and choreographer Benjamin Millepied, who would become her husband. For years, Natalie and Benjamin seemed like the perfect couple. They lived between Paris and Los Angeles, raising their two children and living a mile away from the spotlight as much as possible. Natalie has always been fiercely protective of her children, determined to give them a normal life despite her own fame. While she graced red carpets and gave interviews, she made sure her family stayed grounded, far from the chaos of Hollywood. But as the years went on, the fairy tale began to crack. Rumors of trouble in her marriage surfaced, and by 2023, reports confirmed that Natalie and Benjamin had split. For someone as private as Natalie, the news was devastating, not just because of the personal heartbreak, but because the world was watching. Divorce is never easy, but when you're a global icon, every detail becomes a headline. And then came the whispers of something new. In 2025, Natalie Portman is no longer the heartbroken woman healing from a divorce. She has found love again. The media buzzes with stories of her new husband, a man who is not part of the Hollywood circus, but instead someone who brings stability, joy, and a renewed sense of love into her life. For Natalie, this is more than just a romantic chapter, it is a rebirth, a chance to begin again after years of emotional turbulence. Her two children remain at the center of her world. Aleph, now a teenager, and Amalia, still young but quickly growing up, are the anchors of her life. Natalie often says that motherhood changed her completely, giving her a perspective far beyond the superficialities of Hollywood. She is not just Natalie Portman, the Oscar-winning actress. She is Natalie, the mother who wakes up to make breakfast, who attends school functions, who worries about her children's future like any other parent. But of course, Natalie Portman is not any other parent. She is a woman whose career and lifestyle put her in a league of her own. In 2025, her real estate portfolio is jaw-dropping. From her eco-friendly mansion in Montecito, California, to her former Parisian apartment, Natalie's taste in homes reflects both luxury and elegance. She is not one to flaunt her wealth with tacky displays. But when you step into her homes, you see sophistication's sprawling gardens, modern architecture, art collections, and touches of personal warmth that make even the grandest estates feel like home. And then there are the cars. Natalie has always had a love for clean, sustainable living, which is why her car collection is not about flashy sports cars, but about innovation. She has been seen driving Tesla's hybrid SUVs and luxury sedans that combine comfort with eco-conscious choices. Still, When it comes to lifestyle, she knows how to enjoy the finer things. Private jets, first-class travel, luxury vacations, these are all part of her world. But she balances it with philanthropy, donating millions to causes she believes in, from women's rights to environmental activism. As for her net worth, Natalie Portman is sitting comfortably among the wealthiest actresses in the industry. With a fortune estimated at over $90 million in 2025, she has built her wealth not only from films, but also from endorsements, business ventures, and investments. She has been the face of Dior for years, earning millions from the partnership. Her savvy financial decisions mean she is not just surviving in Hollywood, she is thriving, securing a future for herself and her children. But beyond the numbers, beyond the mansions and the millions, Natalie's lifestyle in 2025 reveals something deeper. It is the lifestyle of a woman who has endured heartbreak, navigated fame, and chosen resilience over despair. She has rebuilt her life with a new husband by her side. She continues to raise her 2 children with love, and she remains one of Hollywood's most admired figures. Fans look at her and see not just an actress, but a symbol of grace under pressure, of dignity in the face of scrutiny, and of strength in the face of personal challenges. What makes Natalie Portman's story so captivating is not just the glamour, it is the humanity. She could have crumbled under the weight of fame, but she didn't. She could have disappeared after heartbreak, but she came back stronger. And now, as we look at her in 2025, we see a woman who has it all: love, family, wealth, talent, and the respect of millions. Yet, she wears it all lightly, never forgetting her roots, never losing her authenticity. But let's pause for a moment and truly think about this. Fame is a double-edged sword. It lifts you higher than the clouds, but it also puts you under a microscope so powerful that every flaw, every misstep, every private wound becomes public property. And Natalie Portman, from the time she was a child star, has lived with that spotlight. It could have consumed her. It could have broken her spirit. We've seen it happen to countless Hollywood stars before, young talents who rise too fast, only to burn out and fade away. Yet Natalie was different. She carried herself with a quiet strength, a wisdom beyond her years, and an unwavering sense of purpose. In 2025, that strength is what defines her lifestyle. Not the mansions, not the cars, not the red carpets, but the way she has managed to hold on to herself, even as the world tried to shape her into something else. She is a global superstar, yes, but also a mother who still walks her kids to school. A woman who still values the simple joys of life. A human being who refuses to let fame strip her of her humanity, and that, perhaps, is why people connect so deeply with her. Because Natalie Portman, despite the millions in her bank account, despite the Hollywood glamour, never stopped being relatable. She has faced heartbreak. She has endured criticism. She has stumbled, just like all of us. But each time, she rose again. Stronger, wiser, more determined. That is the mark of true resilience. That is the story that makes her unforgettable. Think about her journey for a moment. From Jerusalem to Hollywood. From a young girl who dreamed of acting to an Oscar-winning star. From a shy teenager in Leon the Professional to a commanding queen in Stalwarts. From a ballerina haunted by obsession in Black Swan to a mother of 2, shaping her life around love and family. Every stage of her journey has been marked by transformation, reinvention, and above all, courage. Because courage is not the absence of fear, it is moving forward despite the fear. And Natalie has done that, time and time again. In 2025, her lifestyle reflects the balance she has carefully built. Yes, she lives in stunning homes, sprawling estates in Los Angeles, elegant retreats in Europe, and modern sanctuaries where she can escape the chaos of fame. Yes, she drives luxurious cars, the kind of vehicles most people only dream of owning. And yes, her net worth has climbed to staggering heights, making her one of the wealthiest actresses of her generation. But ask Natalie what truly matters, and her answer is simple: her children, her family, her peace of mind. That is what makes her story so compelling. Because while the world sees the glamour, Natalie Portman sees the responsibility. The responsibility to raise her children with love. The responsibility to use her fame for good, to speak out on issues she cares about, to support causes that matter. The responsibility to show that you can be a star without losing your soul. And make no mistake, Natalie has had her share of struggles. Love lost, love found again. The challenges of balancing career and family. The scrutiny of the press, the endless gossip that comes with being a celebrity. At times, the rumors were harsh, the spotlight unkind. But Natalie did what few managed to do. She carried on with grace. She never allowed bitterness to take root in her heart. Instead, she channeled her pain into her work, into her art, into her life. That is why her story resonates so deeply in 2025. Because Natalie Portman is not just a Hollywood star. She is a symbol, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, even when the world is watching your every move, you can choose to live authentically. You can choose resilience over defeat. You can choose love over fear. And now, with her new chapter, her new husband by her side, her 2 children growing up fast, her career still flourishing, Natalie stands as a testament to the fact that true success is not measured in dollars or awards. True success is measured in how you live, in the choices you make, in the legacy you leave behind. Natalie Portman's lifestyle in 2025 is more than just a Hollywood story. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. A story of a young girl from Jerusalem who grew into a global star, of a woman who endured love and loss, and of a mother who continues to put her children above everything else. In the end, her life is not just about mansions, cars, and money. It is about choices, courage, and the kind of grace that makes her truly unforgettable. And perhaps that is what makes her story so timeless. Because in Natalie Portman, we see not just the actress, not just the celebrity, but the human being. And in her journey, we find a reflection of our own struggles, our own hopes, our own dreams. She reminds us that life is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is not about never falling. It is about always rising. So as we look at Natalie Portman in 2025, we see more than just a star. We see a fighter. We see a woman who has walked through fire and come out stronger. We see a mother who has chosen love over everything else. We see an icon who has never lost her authenticity. And we see a legacy that will shine long after the spotlight fades. Disclaimer: the content in this video is based on publicly available information, media sources, and opinions. It is created for entertainment and educational purposes only. We do not claim or guarantee that every detail is 100% accurate.